Good evening, everybody. I always say this is one of my favorite events, and because more than anything, this is the place where everybody who here gets it. You get it, the work that our grassroots leaders are doing, the work that are from grassroots to executive directors, you get it. Social justice, you are the people, you are the community that I love. And thank you, CCJ, for always inviting the City of Long Beach back up. I always give credit at this event to our amazing Gene Lentzner it's because of him that the City of Long Beach has a Human Dignity Program and a Human Relations Commission. And with that, I also want to invite up one of our Human Relations Commissioners, our Human Relations Commission Chair, Amy Erickson, to join me in presenting this award. Many people disregard the importance of the arts in education. Sure, the arts are good for encouraging creativity, but are they useful in the real world? Many feel that if a student doesn't have the capabilities of being the next Beethoven or Da Vinci, what is the point of wasting resources on their continued arts education? Several new research findings are proving that art education what teachers have been saying all along is that art is valuable. A well-rounded educational experience that includes the arts is closely linked to academic achievement, social and emotional development, civic engagement, and equitable opportunity. And research shows that students enrolled in art education excel in statewide tests, earning proficient levels in math, reading, and writing. The prevalence of art education in public schools has been on the decline since the early 1980s. And in recent years, budget cuts have made it almost obsolete. Nowhere are these cuts more severe than in urban areas where minority children are the most unlikely population to receive arts education. Stevenson Elementary School is part of the Long Beach Unified School District, which is located downtown. It is a Title I school with many economic and social challenges. In 2015, teachers began requesting art lessons from reading intervention specialist Nica Rumion to balance out the screen time with the school testing schedule. This then developed into a need for an art show in the spring of 2016 to showcase the body of work created by these lessons. In the fall of 2016, intervention specialist funding was cut, which left the new education program and the enthusiasm it generated stranded. It was then that a classroom became available, and Ms. Rumion sprang into action as a volunteer and converted the classroom into an art studio for the entire school with the help of parent volunteers. Stevenson has had a variety of outside art programs that have come in and out of the school over the years. So what makes this program different? This program is created for and by Stevenson community. The units are designed to have all students, parents, and teachers talking about the same artist or the element of art or media technique, all at the same time. For example, the entire school may be focused on the element of color or line, the artist, Matisse or Nara, the medium of painting or print writing. The school currently has over 20 parent volunteers working in the art room and helping to put the art show. For the past 2 years, 98% of the teachers have volunteered to set up, clean up, or run family art stations at the art show. The school community is deeply invested in the success of this program.
There's currently, in Long Beach Unified School District, no art program for visual arts in the elementary school program. I have to tell you, Long Beach Unified does very much promote arts, and it's a reason, actually, I'm a Long Beach Unified graduate, and the reason I got into arts education was because of my arts learning that I did in the schools. But at the moment, there is no visual arts program at elementary schools, so it's teachers like me, like Nina, that really bring us the things that we need to do in these schools. I brought this with me because transformation is what art does, right? It teaches us that we can learn a science or a math or some new concept through art. It brings it into our bodies in a different way, and it allows us to transform our thinking. Ms. Rumion has already begun writing a curriculum continuing the school's community dialogue model aligned with the visual and performing arts content standards. These are national standards that are brought through the entire system. The curriculum includes a pre-post assessment addressing critical thinking, the essential big question for the unit. And each unit also includes a social emotional development goal that corresponds with the district's growth mindset focus. In November of 2017, Mrs. Rumion attended the California Arts Educators Conference and was deeply inspired by a workshop that contended that art education creates solutionaries, revolutionary solutions. It is the artist that has the vision for critical thinking and problem solving that is original and innovative throughout all disciplines. Art education is the on-ramp to risk-taking, multiple solutions, and other 21st century skills that teachers are in daily pursuit of in other content areas. It also brings attendance numbers up. Let's be clear. You go to school sometimes for the things you want to do, and art is one of those pieces. Ms. Rumion plans to anchor the arts unit this school year 2018-19 with science, lending the art lessons to strong cross-curricular integrations. She plans to start the fall semester with a study of air, beginning with two-dimensional representations of moving air in works like Van Gogh's Starry Night, or moving to the study of windmills and the designing of pinwheels. Next, she plans to give students the opportunity to explore light with two-dimensional and three-dimensional objects through the use of a light board and other light-up activities. Her hope is that teachers will continue the traditional craft making in the classroom, but the school art studio will focus on process-oriented work. The program will be shared with 2 other Title I schools in the spring. It is for these reasons that the Human Relations Commission nominated Nica Rumion for the 2018 Human Dignity Award. Please join me in congratulating Nica Rumion.
Good evening. Thank you for this incredible honor. I've been a teacher in Long Beach Unified for 20 years, and I've always considered teaching a craft that you practice, not a job that you attend. The evolution of my career into an elementary art educator has truly been a dreamer's dream come true. As mentioned before, our program at Stevenson was born 3.5 years ago when I was working as a reading intervention specialist, and during the SBAC testing time, teachers requested that I not bring more reading into after the kids had been on a computer testing all day, and brought in some visual and performing arts lessons to balance out the amount of time they were spending on computers taking tests. The spark flew. By the end of the testing, we had a sizable body of student work, and a school-wide art show was planned. It was clear, based on the numbers of teachers and the parents that volunteered, and the number of families that attended, that the joy and enthusiasm of students at Stevenson for art, we had a new home for art at our school. The following year, as mentioned, the specialist jobs were cut, and I became a first grade literacy teacher, which meant all of this had to happen on a volunteer basis. But luckily, I have a solid crew of parents that helped me convert a classroom, and the Stevenson Art Studio was born. At first, many teachers that were not super comfortable with arts instruction were hesitant. However, within a year, every teacher at our school had brought their kids through the class. This experience has inspired me to create a curriculum that is meaningful but not complicated. I'm trying to create a curriculum that can be done without a sink, when you don't have parent volunteers, if you have recess duty, if the PTA isn't able to help, etc. These are the complications for an elementary multiple subject teacher. This curriculum that we are creating is for multiple subject elementary school teachers because it's by a multiple subject elementary school teacher. Our materials have been generously funded by the Roomba Foundation over the last couple of years, and we've been able to complete 6 art units. Last fall, I spoke to my beloved professional mentors, David Zaid and Claudia Kreis, and they encouraged me to not give up on my pursuit of an art program at Stevenson. The goal was a program that would serve all 700 students all year. Their mentorship led me to John Glaza and Christine Whip, art curriculum leader for Long Beach Unified, who are brilliant and amazing advice givers. By the spring of last year, Miller Foundation made the impossible possible. I'm now working as a 60% art teacher at Stevenson, piloting lessons, as mentioned before, on moving air, moving light, and moving water with our entire school community. As mentioned, one of the unique aspects of this program is that the units are not grade level specific. Instruction and projects are differentiated according to standards, but everyone is talking about the same thing at the same time. This is culture change. This is building community. This is a common conversation that is not age, neighborhood, language, literacy level, or gender limiting. Personally, I was a very shy child that learned I had a voice through the arts, folklorico dancing specifically. I learned how to use my voice through directing dance, and now I find motivation to use my voice to advocate for elementary art that is from, within, and for the school community. Thank you to my dad for making this shy child repeat and repeat. Aggressive, assertive, proactive, you can do it, Nica. It has served me well. A workshop at the California Art Educators Conference last year, as mentioned, was a game changer. This concept of arts education being solutionaries, that in arts education we are facilitating children to find the vision, to employ the skill, to have the problem solving and opportunities for creativity to create revolutionary solutions. This changed my game plan for curriculum planning. We're no longer focused on creating something pretty for the wall for open house. We are focused on, we are elementary school, so we're famous for the Thanksgiving turkey and the fall apple and that kind of thing. And the shift changes to process over product. It's about exploration, it's about risk taking. I'd also like to thank my 3-year-old daughter Liliana for being my guinea pig for all of my curriculum ideas. And on that same note, to my husband for saving the egg cartons, the coffee cans, and the other essential art making recyclables, and for recognizing that this is who I am, and this is the work I must do. Arts Council for Long Beach has invited me to participate in dynamic dialogues at city events and supports our work facilitating a Miller Grant for program support. My amazing coworkers and current principal Kevin Maddox have been incredibly supportive, agreeing to pay my benefits for this year with school site funds. We have discussed how an arts education was a missing component to a complete education for our students, keeping the increased focus on technology in balance. We have noticed with the increase in technology a decrease in fine motor skills, in addition to an increase in impatience as a result of the amount of screen time our children have daily. We practice process over product art instruction that facilitates critical thinking, problem solving, and risk taking, in addition to fine motor development and expressive opportunities. Students are challenged to take on a blank piece of paper that doesn't have Photoshop, filters, quick fixes, or instant gratification. Students are challenged to look at each other and listen to each other while collaborating. Thank you to my mom for exposing me to galleries, symphonies, ancient ruins, traditional handicrafts, and so much more. These experiences with art and artists were formative and continue to inspire me. Our current growth mindset goal in the studio is I can come up with another idea. The pre-assessment for our current unit on Moving Air was to draw a windy day. Francisco, a struggling reader in 1st grade, drew a windy day tree that took my breath away. It was expressive, sophisticated line, it set a mood and almost swayed off the page. This was a pre-assessment. We hadn't begun the unit yet, but it was clear that this is how his mind works. Francisco was confronted with a reading challenge in his classroom, and he self-identified. I am an artist. Declaring his power, I can come up with another idea. And he reapproached reading new words with a new strategy. Francisco is standing in the light of his artistic talent, understanding how capable he is, and pushing through frustration and challenge as a result. Arts education at the foundational level of formal learning, elementary school, helped Francisco to find that light. Thank you.